Vampire Survivors was not the original creator of the survivor genre. They were inspired. Anywho, yeah, we can very clearly see that this is a I wouldn't call this an upgrade from Vampire Survivors, because I think each of these has its own kind of flavor. One of the things that's going to be next for the Vampire Survivor genre, or the survivor genre, is going to be the survivor genre. What is it? So the survivor genre is a genre of game that was birthed, no, that became popular with the release of Vampire Survivors. Became popular, you say? I thought Vampire Survivors created the genre. No, it didn't. What? What? I can't believe what I'm hearing. Yes. Yes, dear listener. Vampire Survivors was not the original creator of the survivor genre. They were inspired. The origin of the survivor genre came from a little game called Magic Survival. And this is this is an Android only survival game. So this is the original survivor game. This was originally made by Lemmy. This is the only game they've ever made. Let's watch the trailer. So it's exactly like Vampire Survivors, but a lot rougher around the edges, fitting for what a mobile game is. But this game was the origin of Vampire Survivors. Quite interesting. Yes, and much like it, you can pick different level ups to give you different stuff. We shall get to it. So I'm going to shorten it to VS in the text, but Vampire Survivors was at first created by one developer named Luca Galante. So Luca Galante started making the game, the prototype for what the game would be, in 2020. We'll get on to more about the history of Luca himself after this, but the game started to be made in 2020. At the time, Luca would show the game to a bunch of his friends, and his friends were quoted in saying, "This is a very Luca style game," with all the different hidden references of different games he likes a lot. And so his friends said was a very Luca styled game. Eventually building out a small community, he eventually got to the point where the game was in such a state where he could release it as an early access game. The game released in early access in late 2021. I think it was the listing on Steam came up sometime late October, and the game was able to download in November. But then it hit 1.0 launch, leaving early access in late 2022. I think around the same time, around November. So it was almost a full year in early access. I wanted to specifically talk about the creator because I think this is interesting. So Luca Galante wanted to make games since childhood. He, in fact, moved from Rome to England to try to pursue that dream. He spent a long time in Rome trying to make one indie game after another. None of it really worked out. Eventually, to try to test his luck, he moved from Rome to England. At first, he worked at McDonald's in England to try to get by, and eventually, after not succeeding in his indie career, he eventually started coding for a gambling company. It was this company him working for, in his free time, he would start working on what we now know as Vampire Survivors. And development didn't really fully start until the pandemic, when he would work on it in his free time. And so now, moving on, Vampire Survivors is a top-down pixel art shoot 'em up, or a shmup. It has a very, very long list of characters. At the beginning of the game, though, however, this wasn't here. Most of these characters came around as the game has been developed. One of the interesting parts about this game is it essentially takes roguelike style of game and it kind of evolves onto it using Luca's time in the gambling company and coding for slot machines. I think it was slot machines. He basically took all that and put it into this roguelike game, which you know, roguelike games were a pretty big thing. And you know, one game after another had evolved the formula, but I think this is another step forward in the roguelike genre. So much so that it it created its own genre of game. So that's a pretty big step forward. And so this is the game. Top down shoot 'em up. Your character will automatically attack in a direction that you're facing. It's a 2D. So whenever you level up, you're able to pick a couple items. But yeah, so like I talked about earlier, I think the game takes like an updated spin on the roguelike genre. And I truthfully think it improves it. The roguelike genre to me, I think is really where RPG games should go. Roguelike games, I mean, me personally, I really like them because it feels like the time I've invested into the game has like, you know, it has like, there's a difference. It feels like there's a difference there. And, you know, you can really feel the different effects. So like from hour 1 of the game versus hour like 100 in a roguelike game is completely different because you've leveled up most of the passive upgrades and you've really become a radically different player in how you play the game, how you approach the game, how you understand the game. Not only that, but your base power has grown stronger with the time investment put in. This is one of the problems with picking up too many weapons. You are not upgrading your weapon's damage because as the time goes on, or as the time ticks up, the enemies gain more and more health and do more and more damage. And so it's important to, at first, try to focus on leveling up your weapons as quickly as possible so that you're actually able to keep up with the scaling. So Vampire Survivors originally, it launched into early access in late 2021. Now at the time, there were not many people playing it. So about a week or so after the early access launch, like I was saying, the game hit the mainstream. From what I understand, there were a handful of YouTubers that actually covered the game, which made it blow it. That blew the game up. The game, if you look at Steam charts, actually, the game went from around 12 concurrent players to 50,000 within a relatively short time span. I think it might have been about a week or two. The game absolutely blew up. By the time January rolled around, so after about a month or two, it had peaked at 70,000 concurrent players. Yeah, so it has it has over 120,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. The game actually eventually in 2024 had grossed over $52 million in sales. The game is currently on Steam. It's on Xbox. I'm pretty sure it's on PlayStation. It's on basically every single platform that you can get a game on. And since then, the game has been regularly updated with different DLCs and different crossovers. There was actually a Castlevania crossover. There was some other interesting tie-ins. There's a bunch of different fun stuff. So Vampire Survivors came out and it blew up. It really took the gaming indie space by storm. It has really I think it's changed a lot. I think it's like improved a lot of like indie games, and a lot of indie games have taken what Vampire Survivors has done and really did a spin on it. So looking at the evolution of this genre, because I guess we're calling it that, is the updates. Vampire Survivors has since launch, it has continually gotten updates. It updates in the form of crossover events, like I was talking earlier, a Castlevania crossover, an official Castlevania. Funny, the game started out as a ode to Castlevania. Actually, that's what the DLC is called, ode to Castlevania. Here we revive. Only for it to actually get an official Castlevania crossover. And I think there was one other. They've had other updates too, where they've just added like different like new stuff into the game, different expansions that add like guns, different expansions that one was a very heavily Japanese themed expansion. They added a bunch of like Japanese themed like maps and like weapons and characters. And usually in these, they add these things called adventures. And so the adventures are like their own little like progression, or like their own little game essentially that you can reset whenever you want. So eventually in this game, like I was showing a bit earlier, you can level up different skills. So you can level up your health. You have more health, more damage. You can move quicker, more XP. It's not much of a difference, but it is something. And in these adventures, you basically kind of restart. And you can build it out, and you will spin the wheel 10 times. You know, as you go through the adventure, you'll unlock the different characters. And these characters, when you unlock them in the adventure, you will then be able to play them in the regular game. And so, because of that, there are a lot of characters in this game. Lots of secret characters, too. There's some pretty cool stuff. So another evolution of the survivor genre is Soulstone Survivors. It was one of the next large survivor games that came out. So yeah, this is the what I would like to think of as the next evolution of the survivor genre. This is the is nowhere near as large as Vampire Survivors was, obviously, but this was the next largest, that I understand, next largest survivor game. I actually played this. In one of the yeah, so this was in a Steam Next Fest. I remember playing it. I had a ton of fun with it. It's obviously taking Vampire Survivors, turning it 3D, doing its own spin. What is this? What am I looking at? Huh. Oh, okay. So this is a riff. This is an upgrade. This is what I mean. This is an evolution. So previously, when we were on Vampire Survivors, we could see all the different powers we can unlock. So by playing the game, we can get gold, and through the gold, we can upgrade health, damage, movement speed, etc. And so this is taking it even a step further, where there's a whole skill tree where you can upgrade, I would assume, passives for your different survivors. Yeah, so, you know, we can see that, you know, this game is taking what Vampire Survivors is doing. And now it's not as flashy as Vampire Survivors. Now, maybe in the full game, it's a bit different, but maybe because it's the demo, maybe I should have bought the full game, but oh well. Anywho, yeah, we can very clearly see that this is a I wouldn't call this an upgrade from Vampire Survivors, because I think each of these has its own kind of flavor of game, and I like them. There's like different variations of this genre, and we'll get into more what I think the genre will turn into. But as the genre has slowly evolved, I think there's going to be like more like interesting opportunities for the genre itself to evolve. So as we can see, I believe that that is an upgrade on the genre. Now, obviously, there was a lot more we didn't see. That whole big skill tree. There was just as many characters to play in there as there was Vampire Survivor. There were some downsides, like the game wasn't as reactive, I guess you could say, as Vampire Survivors. Some of it didn't feel as weighty as Vampire Survivors might be. Now, to be fair, that might just be the demo version, and the whole game might be so good it might blow Vampire Survivors out of the park. I will never know. Anyway, moving on. The next evolution, I believe, which is the most current evolution, is Mega Bonk. Wow, Mega Bonk. Remember Mega Bonk? I've said the word Mega Bonk so many times, it's like lost its meaning. It has lost all its meaning. But yeah, so I believe that this is the most current incarnation of the Vampire Survivor, this Survivor genre. And so far, I believe this is the best. Well, okay. I don't know. I don't want to say, oh, this is the better one or this is the worst one. I think they all have their own place. This just so happens to be the most recent incarnation. But like Soulstone Survivors was taking, it was taking aspects of Vampire Survivors, mixing it with a twin stick shooter kind of vibe, as well as a Path of Exile skill tree. Mega Bonk takes the Vampire Survivor formula and mixes it with a Risk of Rain kind of feel. And so, you know, these games are much like current day music. Current day music there's not really much of a genre. I mean, there's not really genres as much as there used to be. I mean, there's still, you know, country, you know, pop, rock, indie, and all that. But a lot of the time now, most new music has like a bunch of different genres all kind of mashed together inside of it. So just trying to say, hey, this is just this kind of genre, it kind of doesn't work. Oh, you know what? I've been mistakenly calling Vampire Survivors a rogue like. Rogue, ROUGE, LIKE. Instead, Vampire Survivors is a rogue light, so LIGHT. So the difference is that whenever you die, or whenever your proverbial run ends, you have to restart, and the power gained during that run does not carry over. Rogue lights, on the other hand, there are currencies that do carry over through different runs. And so Vampire Survivors is a rogue light, much like Soulstone Survivors is a rogue light, while this game is a rogue like. So what's next? So one of the things that's going to be next for the Vampire Survivor genre, or the Survivor genre, is going to be a extreme oversaturation. And so whether we've already hit that or not, you know, I'll let you be the judge of that. But essentially, every IP is going to be a Survivor game. There's just it's like battle royales, or it's like every game is battle royale, or every game is a extraction shooter. And so we look at this Warhammer Survivors. This is essentially Warhammer 40K, the Warhammer 40K universe, but Survivor Warhammer 40K card game, where every single like indie game is a card game. Every single indie game is a Survivor game because of the ease at which you can make these games, and you can make them very poorly. Because of that, so many people will make them, and then there's just so many that it kind of becomes hard, or people just kind of get sick of them, and thus oversaturation occurs. However, some things I think that will happen is there will be games that come out that take the survivor genre and essentially yoink and twist it, where they take sections of the genre, like the level up system or the combat system or the power up system, whatever have you, and they basically take out certain parts of the game and then just kind of mesh them all together. Like we were talking about with Megabonk, like we were talking about Soulstone Survivor, and like we were talking about with Vampire Survivors. It isn't just one genre, right? It's a amalgamation of a bunch of different genres that have all come together through the work of the creators. And so I think that's what we're going to see more of. And speaking of that, Hell Maiden. But this game came out, or this game was released during the Steam Next Fest. And so essentially what this is another riff on the Vampire Survivor. But what it is it takes 90s anime aesthetic, mixes it with magical girl themes, and um and the story of Dante's Inferno, which I think absolutely amazing. Yeah, but I absolutely love everything about this. Absolutely love literally everything about this game. I think it's all just super super duper duper cool. And it mixes like tarot cards as well. And so I mean this is really I love it. I love it. And so again, this is another evolution of the Survivor formula. But this is what I mean, where it's the yoink and twist. They're taking different parts of it and expanding on different parts, whilst also, you know, really putting a lot of effort in. Yeah, I just love the aesthetics. These enemies are super cute. Sprites are super cute. I love the art style. Is this like 90s anime aesthetic? I think so. Whoa. Oh god, I love this so much. I love this so much. Oh my god. Oh, I love this so much. God, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. This isn't fair. Yeah, so that's Hell Maiden. And so, you know, we could very clearly see through Vampire Survivors, Soulstone Survivors, Megabonk, and then Hell Maiden, we can clearly see a you know, an evolution of this formula. And so, in conclusion, I'm excited to see what's next. I absolutely love this genre. I love everything that these games try to do. In fact, I haven't played it here, but there is a game that I was playing on Xbox. Hold on, I want to see if I can pull it up. Essentially, what it is it takes Vampire Survivors and old school Diablo. I absolutely love it. Well, okay. I love the idea. The actual execution itself, eh. So I think it looks pretty cool. And like the thing is the art style. I mean, because they make so much use of the art style, and you can very easily tell, like, hey, where are they getting this from? Because of that, it makes it a lot more interesting, right? And so, like we talked about, I don't know how many times. I'm gonna keep hitting it. I'm gonna keep hitting that drum. Keep hitting that drum. The indie space is a wondrous space, and I absolutely just love seeing just the creativity that's like abound. I absolutely love it. I love these developers being able to just kind of do what they want, being able to make the games they want, and being able to, you know, yoink and twist different things to really evolve the genre from, you know, what the original Vampire Survivors, or if we go back, Magic Survival did. So you know, this is great. I love it. And that's it. That's it. Hey, thanks for making it to the end. If you like this video and want more, I have my latest Friday show in the corner right there. Otherwise, if you want to watch these live, I stream Tuesdays and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Tuesdays, we cover a gaming or tech related story, and we also try to learn a new skill. And then on Fridays, I do a deep dive on some topic I'm interested in, just like this one. New topics every week. Come on by.